If you're eating healthy, but your energy still crashes during the day, I was doing this wrong. For a long time, I thought the solution was just to eat better. Cleaner meals. Lighter meals. More control. And from the outside, it looked like I was doing everything right. My meals looked healthy. They looked balanced. They looked like what you're supposed to eat. But my energy didn't feel steady. I would feel fine right after eating. And then a couple hours later, I'd crash. Low energy. Thinking about food again. Feeling like I needed something. And it wasn't just physical. It was mental too. It felt like I couldn't fully stop thinking about food. Like even after eating, something still felt unfinished. And that was confusing. Because nothing I was eating looked unhealthy. If you've ever felt like that, like you're doing everything right, but your energy still isn't consistent, this might be why. Because the issue wasn't just what I was eating. It was how I was building my meals. And that's a really important difference. Because meals can look healthy and still not actually support your body. And when that happens, your body doesn't stay stable. It compensates. That's when you feel energy dips, cravings, or that constant something's missing feeling. And for a long time, I didn't understand that. I thought the goal was just to eat clean, to make better choices, to keep things lighter. But lighter doesn't always mean better, and cleaner doesn't always mean more supportive. And this is where things started to click for me. Before I explain what changed, think about this for a second. Have you ever finished a meal and still felt like you needed something else? Not because you were out of control, but because you didn't feel fully satisfied? That was happening to me all the time. And I thought it meant I needed more discipline, more control, more structure. But it didn't. It meant my meals weren't complete. And that realization changed everything. Because once I stopped trying to just eat better, and started focusing on eating in a way that actually supported me, everything started to shift. Not instantly, but noticeably. Instead of feeling like I had to manage food all day, things started to feel easier. And this is where the idea of a balanced plate came in. Not in a complicated way. Not in a tracking everything kind of way. In a very simple, practical way. Making sure my meals had what my body actually needed. That meant including protein. It meant including fat. And it meant making sure the meal was actually enough. Because each of those plays a role in how you feel after eating. Protein helps your body feel more stable. Fat helps meals feel more satisfying. And having enough food helps your body feel supported. And when one of those is missing, things don't feel right. Even if the meal looks healthy. And this is where a lot of women get stuck. Because meals look good on paper, but they don't feel good in real life. And when that happens, you start questioning yourself. You start thinking, why am I still hungry? Why am I still thinking about food? Why does this feel harder than it should? And that's when it's easy to assume the problem is you. But very often, it's not you. It's the structure of the meal. And once I started paying attention to that, the difference was clear. Before, I would eat and still feel like something was missing. After, I would eat and actually feel done. Before, my energy would go up and down. After, it felt more steady. Before, food felt like something I had to constantly think about. After, it felt quieter. And that quiet feeling is something a lot of people don't talk about. Because when food finally feels satisfying, you stop thinking about it all the time. And that frees up so much mental energy. You're not constantly planning your next meal. You're not constantly trying to control cravings. You're just living. And that's what made the biggest difference for me. Not perfection. Not strict rules. Just meals that actually worked with my body. And I think this is the part that matters most. Because a lot of women assume they just need more discipline. But very often, they just need more support. And when that shift happens, everything starts to feel easier. Energy feels more stable. Cravings feel more manageable. And your body starts to feel more predictable again. Not because you're trying harder, but because you're finally giving it what it needs. Now, this doesn't mean every meal has to be perfect. It doesn't mean you need to overthink everything. And it definitely doesn't mean tracking every detail. It just means being a little more intentional about building meals that actually support you. Because eating healthy is important. But eating in a way that actually supports your body is what changes how you feel. And if you've been doing everything right, but your energy still feels off, this might be the piece you've been missing.